Hello, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Conversations with Forge Breast Cancer Survivorship Center. This morning, we're going to be talking with Raque'l Smith about PinkTopps. And we're so excited to be here with her. We're so excited to have this opportunity to have this space to have conversations about PinkTopps and what you all offer. So let's just hop right into it. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Raque'l Smith. Born and raised Birmingham, Alabama. I was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 27. I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer, which is this new age breast cancer that we have going on right now. And it kind of hit me hard, and I didn't really understand the process of it by me being so young. I had never had a mammogram, didn't have family history of breast cancer. It was just one of those ionic things that I had a lump on my left side. And I actually asked my boss about it at the time. And she was like, well, you might need to go get that checked. And I didn't think it was anything. I just thought it was something that maybe like dense tissue and probably go away. And so I asked my sister as well. She's a therapist. And so she was like, well, you might need to go get that checked out. And I went and got it checked out. They took a piece of mass out and they was like, you'll go back to work in 10 days. And next thing I know, I got a call, and I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer. It did go into my lymph nodes, and I had to go through chemotherapy, radiation, reconstruction, and I still got a little more reconstruction surgeries going on, but life has hit, so it had to go on the back burner. And that's what encouraged me to start PinkTopps. So we began talking to young women about PinkTopps, and I wanted to get this program out to educate more young women about PinkTopps. And from there, it just blossomed into the rose.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's great that you push the issue. Like, you didn't just say, well, I'm just gonna wipe it off as anything, like something's wrong. And I think that self-awareness is truly amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely. When I got diagnosed, my doctor at the time told me if I would have waited 6 months to a year, it would have been on my brain.
Wow.
So when it hit me like that, I really didn't know what to do, because I didn't know no one my age going through it. So I was kind of lost, and my mom was really more emotional than me, because I was just like, well, I might get new boobs, and my boobs were small before. So I was looking at it from that aspect, but I didn't really realize all of the different things that I was going to actually go through. So to having a good support team, I think, was a blessing along with it, but it's a lot of women out here that don't even have that support. And that's when I knew it was critical for an organization to be started here in the South for young women and men to be educated about breast cancer.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about PinkTopps. Like, what is PinkTopps? What do you all offer? Where are you located in the city? And just, give us some details on that.
Absolutely. We actually started in downtown Birmingham. PinkTopps is a nonprofit 501c3 organization where we help women with supportive services, advocacy, and awareness. Our biggest thing is to educate, also be able to help them with hands-on needs. We have a beautification program, which help them with wigs, help them with different clothing material, because they're going through mastectomies and they want to know different things about how to wear different clothing. And one problem that I came in contact with was being able to hide the drains and different type of shirts to wear. And see, these are things that young women don't have no idea about. All they know is, okay, they talking about I have breast cancer, but what do I do? Until they're actually going through this walk. PinkTopps started off with collecting plastic bottles. And a lot of people was like, why you got a water bottle on your shirt? Where does the water bottle come in? Well, being young, Black in America, I seen that it was hard to get funding for minorities. I started PinkTopps and I was not getting any funding. So I was like, okay, God, how can I get some funding to help push this mission? And then he said, recycle. He said, Alabama is a state that does not recycle. And the more I researched it and seen how in California, Florida, and different other states had recycling programs, I seen that the Alabama did not have recycling programs. We recycle, but we really just throw it away. So that what made me start the recycling program, and it's called our Eco-Friendly Project. And that's really what became the catalyst to get the word out about PinkTopps. Because people was like, well, how can I save these bottles? What are these bottles for? And I was like, well, we work with Waste Pro and More Coal. and we start recycling the bottles. And next thing you know, it started donating pennies, literally pennies. People think we get a lot of money for it, but it's really based on weight. And you know, plastic is really lightweight. So it was just donating pennies, but it designed a platform for low income families and other families that are well off to come together for a cause. So you didn't have to really financially donate, but you can just donate your plastic at your home. So that began to be the awareness for PinkTopps. And from there, it just blossomed. Now we have a huge pink dumpster in Bessemer. So we relocated to Bessemer. You asked me about the location, I'm sorry. But we relocated to Bessemer. Our address is 1931 3rd Avenue North, Suite A. And that's our PinkTopps Resource and Wellness Center. And I'm here now, actually. So I wanted to kind of give you guys a visual so you can see the facility as well. But our dumpster is located at Moore Cole, and it's like around the corner. And we got a big, huge pink dumpster, and now people take all their plastic there.
That is awesome. And so how would a client, like, say a new client is like, hey, I have breast cancer and I'm young, like, how do they, get in touch with you all? How do they become a client? What would that process look like for them?
Well, it's been amazing how people reach out to us and come to us with PinkTopps. A lot of our network is through social media, I will say, word of mouth. Also, knowing someone going through breast cancer to say, hey, have you heard of PinkTopps? And a lot of it is just being out there and touching people hands-on. And of course, we work with you guys, and we work with some people at UAB and different other organizations. So the resource center is the part where people are able to come in and get that help. And we offer a lot of different services that people don't realize that are here in Alabama. Right now, we're working with a young lady. She's in her early 20s in college, and she's in Alabama, but she's on the outskirts of Birmingham. And these are the areas that are getting hit, but don't have no resources.
Mm-hmm. So could you kind of explain a little bit how what is new age breast cancer? Because some people, they hear breast cancer and they think just about, regular breast cancer. A lot of people don't even know that there are different types of breast cancer. They kind of just group it all together. Can you just kind of give us a little bit of detail about what is considered new age breast cancer?
Absolutely. New age breast cancer is a group of women who are statistically rising high in breast cancer. This group of women are between the ages of 16 and 35, and they really are the ones that don't know anything about mammograms. They basically sometimes don't even know much about self-checking. So this is that age group that's not aware of those different things, because in their mind, they're thinking it's an older woman's disease. So they're not looking at the fact that cancer does not respect age. So when we say a new age breast cancer, we're actually hitting on that target of people, and also the people that are in underserved communities.
Okay.
And if you notice, a lot of women don't even know that there are different kinds of breast cancer. They just think breast cancer, until you break it down to them, they like, what? Or they go to their physician and their physician break it down, but it's different types of breast cancer.
Definitely. And I was one of those people. I didn't know that there were so many different, types of breast cancer and all of the different treatments and things for breast cancer. I just kind of had like that stigmatized view of, pink, and, if you have cancer, you go through chemo and you're healed,
Yeah.
So educating everybody, not even just, young males or females or whomever, there are so many different moving parts to a cancer diagnosis, and it doesn't mean the end. There are just so many different things about it. So I think that it is awesome that you're working in a way to educate, not just to assist, but to educate the younger population on breast cancer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I respect the organizations that are here for medical purposes and in that area. And I see we have a lot of organizations that represent that area, but I see that we had a lack of organizations that help the continuation of living. Mm-hmm. Or help with getting your beauty back, or as we say, get your sexy back, and that group of women don't have no idea. I mean, they know about all these different things that can help them as far as medically wise, but just getting their life back is sometimes where they have the big question mark. And I had it myself, you know, and when I seen it myself, I was like, oh, I don't like wearing these wigs. I don't like how it fit. I don't like not having no hair, you know, and these are things that I think kind of get thrown under the belt that a lot of women go through. And it's still part of that recovery process.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the lymphedema and the sleeves, you know, we don't want to wear the old school sleeves. I had to Google about lymphedemas, you know. So these things are things that certain survivors are not aware, but they're out here.
So what advice would you recommend to young women who feel that they may be at risk, or, you know, they might feel like something's wrong, but they have doubts due to their age or because they don't have any history of cancer in their family, but they suspect something might be wrong, and maybe they might go to a doctor and they'll be like, oh, you know, sometimes they might not be willing to look into it. If they're in that kind of situation, what would you recommend to them?
My number one advice would be pray about it first, and then to ask questions. You know, we fail because we're scared to ask questions. And I feel if you ask questions, that's a start to the road of recovery. You know, if you go in and just sit in the room and don't do anything about it, you will never learn nothing about it. You know, and now they got, as they say, the school of YouTube, different things like that. It's so many avenues to get connected and find out different ways to be connected with breast cancer. And I think a lot of it is fear. Mm-hmm. You know, and once you conquer that fear and you see it and catch it early, it's life after breast cancer. So my biggest advice for young women and men is ask questions. Start off there. And once you start off asking questions, it could lead on to someone giving you different advice. It could lead to more resources. It could lead to more navigation services, but you got to start asking questions and get a second opinion. I tell people all the time, if you have doubt, go get another opinion. You know, you have programs out there that'll pay for mammograms. So if you really feel like this is not the right choice, or this is not the right decision, or your doctor misdiagnosed you, get another opinion. That could save your life. Yeah. You know, I try to tell people all the time, don't play around with it because it'll kill you.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So since you've been with PinkTopps or throughout your journey, what are some meaningful stories, or, you know, an example that you have of a client that you might have worked with, just their story was inspirational to you, or if there's anything with feedback from that you would like to leave viewers with?
Well, I have to say COVID-19 has been really, really interesting with me with PinkTopps. We did have to close the center down due to health issues, and we didn't want to get in contact with COVID. Also, it really set everyone down. And this is the first time that I've seen myself and 2 other young breast cancer survivors expecting, you know, and so many people like, oh my goodness, you're going to have chemo. And these are things that doctors have told us with medical degrees. Oh, you may not have children. You may need to do fertilization, and you may want to harvest your eggs. We've had these type of conversations going through breast cancer. And to see these young women having children, it's amazing. Yeah. Like, I mean, when I think about it, it really, really, really gives me chills, because it lets you know impossible is possible with God. And when you sometimes let go of the fear and trust God with the process, anything is possible. You know, and to see these young women producing and having children and continuing with life has been really mind-blowing with me, because my whole time going through breast cancer, I was the only woman that I knew that had a baby. And, you know, and just to see these other women that come to me and they're like, Raque'l, how did you get pregnant? I was like, what do you mean? You know, and one of the ladies, you know, her diagnosis was HER2 positive. And I was like, wow. So, you know, it's so many things out here that we're not educating ourselves on, and we're just going on what people tell us. And now they're having kids, and they like, I mean, to see them in their enjoyment with it. And the lady that we fed for Thanksgiving, she's going through breast cancer right now, and she's in her early 30s, and she has 1 child, but she was like, well, they told me I may not have no more kids. And she came to the center and we gave her the food and everything. And she said, but just seeing you pregnant really made me rethink things. And she was kind of down about it. She didn't want to share her story. And she's an educator. She's a teacher, and I said, no, you got to educate other women. Just like you're educating these kids, this is your testimony. And she texted me, she said, you've given me hope. And just to let her know, to see another breast cancer survivor expecting, they gave her that little mustard seed of faith to let her know you can get over this hump and you too can have another child if you put your faith on it. So just to see these young women going on with life has been a testimony for me.
That's amazing. And it's so great that you're there to be a support system for them. Our goal is to always just help raise awareness for all of the different support systems that are available, especially locally, because it's one thing to call somebody on the phone and talk to them, but to have somebody that you can face-to-face talk to, it always just brings so much truth and hope for individuals. Are there anything or any final thought that you'd like to leave our listeners with? Anything that you're currently working on that you wanted to, put out there and let the community know?
Absolutely. I'll first like to let you guys know that when God is working with you with something, it's hard to run from it. I didn't really want to do PinkTopps at first, but and he kept working with me on it, and I seen where women need help in. So I'm okay with him using me as a vessel to help other women. I'm actually thankful that I can be a blessing to other women. And if you guys know any survivors, they don't have to currently be going through treatment. They really don't have to really be just a breast cancer survivor. Any survivors that need masks, we have pink KN95 masks that we could drop in the mail at them at any time. Throughout COVID, we've given away over 500 masks. So we had to get some more. The other ones were cloth masks. These are actually the KN95 masks. So they're the ones that are medically proven for the coronavirus. So anyone that need a mask, just tell them to go in on our website. All they have to do is say, hey, I'm a survivor, I need a mask, and drop their address, and we'll drop them in the mail. That simple, no questions asked. We also have another program that we're working with sanitizing homes. So if they're going through treatment and they need their home sanitized, we got donated a sanitized gun, and we also got donated the spray that kills the coronavirus and all bacteria. So we asked the local firemen, could they donate their services and their time off to go spray these homes? And it's no problem. So if you know someone that's going through treatment and they'd like to get their home sprayed, we can send a fireman out to spray their home as well. And that's a free service. So if you go online and try to look up that service can run anywhere from $150 to $500. So they'll just come in, they spray their home. They have to stay outside the home for 30 minutes though. That's the only thing. So, but it does kill viruses and bacteria. And I thought that was something that was needed since we wasn't able to have people to come into the center. I was like, okay, you guys, we got to be able to go out and touch them. And that's why that's what we came up with the idea. Can we get a spray gun? Can we get somebody to donate this to us? To keep the mission going. And the main purpose of the mission is to help others and keep others safe and educate. And so if you know anyone that need any of those services, and if they need any other services, they can contact us at pinktopps.org.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking with us, Raque'l Smith. We enjoyed this conversation and just learning more about you and your organization and all the things that you do for individuals experiencing cancer or who have experienced cancer in their past and they're just navigating through their journey. We want to thank you for just taking that time out to be transparent with us as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We enjoyed having you, and hopefully we can have you again in the future.
Yes, ma'am. I feel like together we can help more people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.